Welcome. I'm Doug Morgan, and you're listening to Uncommon Sense, where we hunt for the truth in the topics you're not supposed to talk about, Christianity and politics. Today, we're going to be talking about AI and the AI news and things that are happening in that sphere currently. And I wanted to start out today by sharing with you a kind of a funny, I guess you'd call it funny, little story from Colombia. A Colombian family named their newborn daughter Chat Yippity. yeah, after the chat AI program Chat GPT. Yeah, so you get it, yippity. Anyway, despite the unusual name, the child was registered without objection at the National Registry Office in the town of Crete. According to local media, the parents of Chat Yippity it said they chose the name as a tribute to the era of artificial intelligence. Well, I don't know if I would do that with my child, but there are some good and bad things happening in the area of AI, and one of the things that I think that everybody is kind of watching when it comes to AI is how it affects students. The Daily Wire and Teresa Payton says that students across the country are getting ready to head back to school, and this year they'll have to chance they'll have a chance to take a different kind of assignment. The first ever presidential AI challenge, an outgrowth of an executive order signed by President Donald Trump in April. The challenge aims to inspire students, educators, and community leaders to work together to ensure the next generation is ready to take on the unprecedented technological change we can expect in the near future. Now, this goes beyond politics and asks students to find ways to use artificial intelligence to respond to challenges in students' local communities. So, kind of putting the ball in their court, right? Well, this initiative has arrived not a moment too soon. New developments in AI are announced almost daily, really. Some promising, some disconcerting. But the headlines show us every day that this world-changing technology will need governance and guardrails left firmly in qualified human hands. And the Trump White House understands this, they say, and is right to engage in with America's youth, who better to challenge or thinking on emergency tech than those who will be impacted by it most. Now, if educators prioritize safe and ethical engagements with AI in the classroom, this could be one of the most consequential school years in decades. Generation Z is coming close to the end of their school years, and Generation Alpha in school behind them will may well be renamed by history as Generation AI, right? But because they will be the first to come of age in a world with all the power of artificial intelligence at their fingertips. The sooner they start working through what that means, well, the better. And different schools and communities will inspire students to meet the presidential AI challenge in different ways. But there are a few consistent elements that educators, community leaders, and the tech community should strive to instill in American youth so that they learn to engage with AI in responsible, ethical ways. The first is to take the ideas of digital citizenship. It's not just about being nice on social media anymore, although that remains important, right? But we must make sure students understand that AI is a tool to be used responsibly, and that being a good citizen extends to online communities. Understanding these ethical standards is key as a constant reminder that technology should serve humanity and not the other way around. As powerful as the technology will be, the students using it will have to remember that their human mind is still in charge. And if human minds are to remain in charge, we will need to sharpen critical thinking skills at all educational levels. Switzerland and Sweden, for instance, have integrated these skills into all levels of their curriculum, even into continuing education in their workforce. Critical thinking will be the bedrock of ethical AI use. By fostering skills to question and analyze and evaluate AI outputs, we empower learners to challenge assumptions and create AI systems that foster trust and respect. The use of AI is as a crutch, like writing your term papers for you, is the exact opposite of this. It's more than just lazy. It sets us back on doing the important work to keep this technology in check. He goes on to say that to stop AI from replacing critical thinking, we should train students to use AI as a tool for exploration and curiosity. Start with an idea in your own brain, then explore further with AI generated insight that you never fully trust and always verify. Once outputs are created, there must always be a human in the loop by design. Evaluating AI outputs and coming up with an original solution based on human judgment, students can study, design, and ensure solutions reflect steps that allow humans to interject moral reasoning and human creativity. He says the next generation will need to understand more than just how to interact with a chatbot in a safe, ethical, and helpful way. AI's ripple effects will go beyond our screens as the need for more physical data centers to power AI innovation increases. We must set an example by wrestling with policy questions like energy access issues in an empathetic, human-centered way. We don't want power grids diverting power to data centers while hospitals can't keep their machines on. AI must be used to uplift communities, as outlined in the Presidential AI Challenge. We are poised to mark the 250th anniversary of America's founding in a world abounding in technology that our founders would only dream of. But the same values that inspired them, a decent respect for freedom, human dignity, and individual rights, should guide us as we explore this uncharted technological territory. The upcoming school year, educators and students alike have a fascinating opportunity to engage with this technology in ways that align with our values. So, like I say, this is something that I think we need to really take a look at not resisting as a Christian community, because we have a tendency to do that sometimes, resist technology. AI it can be scary for some, and yes, it doesn't have its own morals, and yes, it is, it's going to output what is input, but we need to embrace it because it is here and it is coming very, very fast. But like I say, there are some fears. Reuters, for instance, writes that Americans are deeply concerned over the prospect that advances in artificial intelligence should put swaths of the country out of work permanently, according to a new Reuters poll. The 6-day poll, which concluded on Monday, showed 71% of respondents said they were concerned that AI will be putting too many people out of work permanently. The new technology burst into the national conversation in late 2022 when OpenAI's chatbot launched and became the fastest growing application of all time. With tech heavyweights like Facebook owner Meta Platforms, Google owner Alphabet, and Microsoft offering their own AI products, and there's other ones out there as well, Perplexity and some others. But while at present there are few signs of mass unemployment, the U.S. jobless rate was just at 4.2% in July. Artificial intelligence is stirring concerns as it reshapes jobs, industries, and day-to-day life. Some 77% of respondents to the Reuters poll said they worried the technology could be used to stir up political chaos, a sign of unease over the now common use of AI technology to create realistic videos, for instance, of imagery events. Americans are also leery about military applications for AI. The Reuters poll showed some 48% of respondents said the government should never use AI to determine the target of a military strike, compared with 24% who said the government should allow that sort of use of technology. Another 28% said they were not sure. So a lot of people haven't made up their mind on that yet. But the general enthusiasm for AI shown by many people and companies has fueled further investments, such as Foxconn and SoftBank's planned data center equipment factory in Ohio. It has also upended national security policies as the U.S. And China vie for AI dominance. More than half of Americans, some 61%, said they were concerned about the amount of electricity needed to power the fast-growing technology, because it sucks up a lot of energy. Google said earlier this month it had signed agreements with 2 U.S. electrical utilities to reduce its AI data center power consumption during times of surging demand on the grid, as energy-intensive AI use outpaces power supply. The new technology has also come under criticism for applications that have let AI bots hold romantic conversations with children, generate false medical information, and help people make racist arguments. 2/3 of the respondents in Reuters poll said they worry that people would ditch relationships with other people in favor of AI companions. And people were split on whether AI technology will improve education. Some 36% of the respondents thought it would help, while 40% disagreed, and the rest were not sure. Now, the Reuters gathered responses online for this poll from 4,446 U.S. adults nationwide, and had a margin of error of about 2 percentage points. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely some things to I don't know, I want to say be worried about, but there's some really good things as well. YouTube is testing a new system for their United States-based users, which would use artificial intelligence to determine a user's age and set up restrictions accordingly. That's a good application. This age estimation model was rolled out to a small set of users on Wednesday, per reports, and is aimed at protecting children from harmful content. The company said that AI will not rely on the birth date entered on the account, but will use other methods to determine the user's age, per the Associated Press. YouTube noted that users will have an option to override that estimation if they believe it's made an error, and people will have the option to verify your age through government ID, selfie, or credit card, that type of thing, if you believe our age estimation model is incorrect, according to them. The system only works for users who are logged in, and James Besser, Senior Director of Product Management for YouTube's youth products, wrote in a blog post that the move was made so that teens are treated as teens and adults as adults. This technology will allow us to infer a user's age and then use that signal regardless of the birthday in the account to deliver an age-appropriate product, experiences, and protection, is what Besser wrote. Noting that this method has already been used in other countries for some time and is working well. Protections put in place would be similar to when a user inputs a birthday showing them to be a minor. And this includes showing only non-personalized ads, enabling digital well-being tools such as Take a Break and bedtime reminders by default, showing reminders about privacy when uploading a video or commenting publicly, minimizing recommendations of videos with content that could be problematic if viewed in reputation, and blocking access to age-restricted video explicitly not recommended for minors. So, like I say, some good things there. Um, and so we see that it can go both ways. In fact, on the flip side of the coin, two Republican U.S. senators called for a congressional investigation into Meta platforms on Thursday after Reuters exclusively reported on an internal policy document that permitted the company's chatbots to engage engage a child in conversations that are romantic or sensual. We talked just a little bit about this earlier. Meta confirmed the document's authenticity, but said that after receiving questions earlier this month from Reuters, the company removed portions that stated it is permissible for chatbots to flirt and engage in romantic role play with children. The standards described in the Meta document don't necessarily reflect, as they put it, ideal or even preferable generative AI outputs. This is what their document states. But they have permitted provocative behavior by the bots, is what Reuters found. In one example, the document notes that it would be acceptable for a bot to tell a shirtless 8-year-old that every inch of you is a masterpiece, a treasure I cherish deeply. Quote, so only after Meta got caught did it retract portions of its company doc. This is what Josh Hawley, Senator Josh Hawley, he's a Republican from Missouri, said in a post on X. This is grounds for an immediate congressional investigation, he said. And spokesperson for Senator Marsha Blackburn, who's a Republican from Tennessee, said she supports an investigation into the social media company. A spokesperson for Meta did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Reuters, but Blackburn also added that the report illustrates the need to pass reforms to better protect children online, such as Kids Online Safety Act, a bill she co-sponsored that the Senate passed last year, but which failed in the U.S. House of Representatives. When it comes, she said, quote, when it comes to protecting precious children online, Meta has failed miserably by every possible measure. Even worse, the company has turned a blind eye to the devastating consequences of how its platforms are designed. Well, the Kids Online Safety Act would make explicit a duty of care, as they put it, that social media companies have when it comes to minors using their products, focusing on the design of the platform and the regulation of the companies. Senator Ron Wyden, who's not the brightest bulb in the whole box, he's a Democrat from Oregon, called the policies deeply disturbing and wrong. Okay. Yeah, protecting kids is deeply disturbing and wrong. He said, adding that Section 230 of the law that shields internet companies from liability for the content posted to their platforms should not protect companies' generative AI chatbots. Okay. Well, Meta and Zuckerberg should be held fully responsible for any harm these bots cause, he said. So that's good, right? Senator Peter Welch, a Democrat from Vermont, said the report shows how critical safeguards are for AI, especially when the health and safety of kids are at risk. The Senate voted 99-1 in July to remove a provision in President Donald Trump's sweeping tax cut and spending bill that would have effectively barred states from passing AI regulations. And in the absence of the federal laws generating AI, states have passed legislation, including bans on using the technology to create child sexual abuse material. We actually covered that here a month or two ago here on the podcast. But one of the things that, like I said, there's a lot of people that are on the side of AI is concerning, right? I mean, we see it here with this story here, and how it's affecting kids, and yet AI can be used to protect them as well. So there's this back and forth of, okay, is it good? Is it bad? Maybe it's both. I don't know. Anyway, even people in Hollywood are concerned about AI. In 2023, actors and writers went on strike as fears over artificial intelligence rapid development gripped Tinseltown. The entertainment workers picketed for weeks, demanding guardrails around AI's use in Hollywood, and they got their wish when the Writers Guild of America, the WGA, they agreed with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers to put new rules into place. And the fears are understandable. I mean, especially for those whose jobs are centered on writing scripts or editing videos. But for Jonathan Younger, AI can be a major boost for Hollywood. The talented people who work there just have to embrace it and learn how to master it, he thinks. Here's his quote. He says, Hollywood is old school. They're scared about being replaced. But I truly believe that if I've been saying this from the beginning, AI is here and it's not going anywhere. This is what he told the Daily Wire. He said, we have to learn to work together. Younger doesn't just express that belief. He puts his career behind it. Younger, who's worked on blockbuster films as the Expendables, Hellboy, Hitman's Bodyguard, and Rambo, co-founded Arcana Labs. It's a new AI production studio that he believes will help lead the way in revolutionizing the way creative content is made. So many in Hollywood fear that if AI continues to move at the pace tech whizzes expect it to, it won't be long before it's capable of producing any type of creative content without the countless hours and dozens of writers and actors. Younger has a different perspective on Hollywood's use of AI, saying that creative content will always need real actors and real storytellers. He says, you go to ChatGPT and ask it to tell a joke. It's not going to tell you a funny joke. If you tell it to write a story that will make you cry, it's not going to make you cry. You still need you still need human involvement. You still need the human element, he said. So Arcana is geared for and more towards artist-driven AI rather than AI-driven art, right? So Arcana's capabilities were introduced to the world on February 25th when President Donald Trump posted a satirical video about the remaking of Gaza. The AI-generated video that took social media by storm, by the way, that day, was made by someone who was testing Arcana's tools, according to Younger. Now, the company based in Los Angeles has $5.5 million in funding and officially launched its production studios earlier this week with SEMCAP, AI, and co-CIOs Walter Buckley and Cyrus Van de Velde jumping on board. Quote, it was around the time I was doing Hellboy. I wasn't using any AI in Hellboy. But me and my co-founder, Hank Hoffman, got hip to generative AI at the time. And Younger, this is what Younger told the Daily Wire. And he said, and I was like, wow, it's amazing. Younger said that AI's capabilities to immediately turn words into images were like a ultimate high for a producer. But he added that he soon grew frustrated with the new tool because it took hundreds of generations to get AI to generate the image he had in his mind. Quote, this is amazing tech, but how do you incorporate this into a workflow if you're either making a movie or making a comic book or whatever it is, and you're on a deadline? Well, out of this question, Arcana AI was born. And Younger said that his team believe it will be it will help kickstart the future of filmmaking. Now, Arcana also offers tools for small businesses, photographers, videographers, and even everyone in between of those things. Content creators and companies have already begun exclusively using AI to produce everything from short films and memes to marketing campaigns and advertisements. Even Jeremy's Razors of the Daily Wire, which shares common ownership, like I say, with the Daily Wire, released a fully AI generated commercial earlier this year. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, as AI continues to grow a top priority for Arcana, it is to ensure that creators have a place to develop their skills with AI without fearing censorship. Now, Younger said that many other AI programs don't allow creators to make scenes that include violence, blood, horror, or nudity. And he argued that since AI is going to play a major role in the future of artistic content, it's vital to show artists the freedom to create content without the fear of censorship. He says, imagine if they said no more nudity in every single art museum in the world. Or imagine if the Renaissance was censored. Or imagine if every movie studio said, okay, guys, only PG-13 movies from now on. That is an attack on our liberty, he said. Now, striking a balance between creative liberty and inappropriate content is an age-old question, of course, and that AI is also facing at this time. One of the biggest concerns is how AI is all too often used for sexual predation. So using, like such as revenge porn and deepfake nudities and things like that. As AI has progressed, so has the ability of bad actors to create realistic images and videos that show the faces of real people who gave no consent for their likeness to be made through artificial intelligence. The top targets of this unethical use of AI are celebrities, women, and girls whose faces are attached to pornography and pornographic images. Often the victims are underage girls who learn that one or more of their classmates used a Nudify program to generate naked photos of them, as reported by the New York Times last year. And when asked about the troubling trend of AI being used for revenge porn or other illegal activities, Younger said that Arcana can both defend free speech and stamp out unethical uses of its studio. Arcana's security protocols warn users if they type a potentially illegal prompt into the AI generator and identify illegal content and those who create it. He said that we have technology deployed that basically stamps out every image made on Arcana with the username in an invisible watermark. And so he said creators on Arcana are free to make what they want, but Younger added that if something gets sent to the police, we will find you very, very quickly. So not a bad way to police that. Now, he also said that excitement and fear around AI will remain as the technology affects more industries and jobs and people. And he acknowledged that at the end of the day, things shift. And those in Hollywood will have to keep up with the changes AI brings, just as previous generations adapted to the computer revolutionizing the way people work. He says, I don't think AI will replace people. He says, I think people who use AI will replace people who don't. Kind of interesting. I'm going to repeat that because I think it's worth repeating. He says, I don't think AI will replace people. He says, I think people will use AI. I think people who use AI will replace people who don't. So, yeah, I mean that's kind of an interesting way to look at it, and I think that again we see really good things that can come about from AI, some really interesting challenges as well, some really bad things that can come about as well. But I think all in all, I mean, this is technology that is here to stay. This is technology that is growing leaps and bounds. I mean, 70% of AI code is written by AI. That's amazing. And that's right now. That's at this time. So yeah, it's something that we need to keep track of. We need to know that it's input dependent, because AI is dependent on what is being put into it. As far as what comes out of it, we need to take its answers and things with a grain of salt, and yet we need to not shy away from it, but understand what it is, and then be able to use it for good purposes. So anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Of course, you can always do that at uncommonsensepodcast.com. We're on YouTube. Love to have you share and like, and thank you for listening.
This podcast is a production of Morganite Communications.